Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's DASA X edForce edTalk, a beginner's guide to everything DevOps. We are thrilled to have you all here for an exclusive session where we dive deep into the essentials of DevOps with actionable insights and practical strategies. Now, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce our speaker for the day, Shriharsha Bhat. Shriharsha is a DevOps leader
Leader.
with,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah. DevOps leader. I just said leader.
yeah. Shriharsha is a DASA DevOps leader with over 15 years of experience in transforming organizations through DevOps practices. He is an accredited DevOps trainer known globally for his expertise in modern software development and operational strategies. Having trained professionals across the world, Shriharsha is an expert in real-world applications of DevOps principles, delivering actionable insights that you can take back to your teams immediately. Without further ado, let's hand over to Shriharsha to guide us through today's exciting session, making you the co-host, Shriharsha. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Ashutosh. Thank you so much for giving a nice introduction of me. As Ashutosh already introduced me, I'm Shriharsha Bhat and working as a DevOps architect in one of the leading companies in India. So I have 20 plus years of experience in software delivery, software testing, DevOps, CI/CD, etc. And currently I'm working in one of the large, the cloud migration project as a DevOps architect. So hundreds of applications are being migrated to the Azure cloud. Okay. So that's about me, actually, the little small introduction. So this session, actually, a couple of months ago, DASA, invited me if I can actually take this session to this edForce, and then I happily actually agreed to this. And that's how we are here right now. Okay. So I would like to actually talk about the DevOps, why the DevOps, and how DevOps is being actually, practiced in an organization. This is a beginner's guide to everything about the DevOps. Yeah, I think a few things already mentioned by Ashutosh. So this session is being recorded, so you can use this in the future for your reference. So you don't need to really actually, take a notes or something actually rigorously. So use the comment section to ask your questions during the sessions. So Ashutosh is going to actually compile them. A short period of time, actually, like in regular intervals. And then if you have any additional questions, even after the session, you can either write to me or definitely DASA is there. You can visit the DASA.org website as well, actually, to know more about the DASA offerings, etc., about the DevOps. Okay. All right, let's move to the next one. So I think it's about me, Shriharsha, once again. Thanks, everyone. And this is the agenda, a short agenda, actually. In fact, actually, it talks a lot, but we may not be able to, go deep into each of these things because of the time constraint. But definitely, we will try to actually understand about the DevOps, how to build a DevOps culture in an organization, discover how Agile methodologies, a little bit about it, maybe over the words, understand the DevOps principles. What are those principles are important to practice in an organization? Gain insights into the continuous integration, continuous delivery practices, and then something about the tools DevOps for the DevOps automation. And then we will also actually see if we have some time to see any one of the DevOps tools or something like the CI/CD tools which is available in the market. So let us see if the time permits to actually talk about that. Okay. It doesn't work. Okay. So then I have to use my mouse. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So coming to the why do we need a DevOps? Right. So as you see, actually, the screen, we are talking about the VUCA world, right? So something VUCA is a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world we are living in right now, right? So disrupted more and more in the technology side. We see actually often in advent of AI in the software, cloud migration, cloud technologies. Some mega trends are visualized here, right? Not all apply equally well to each of our industries, but I guess actually that we all agree that financial sector is impacted heavily by this digitalization as well, right? Whether it is a financial organization or retail organization or even a manufacturing, we see that there is a tremendous disruption is happening. At the same time, customers are also getting well educated and they demand more and more very often, right? So the disruption is already here, and the most companies will have to face this. No options, right? If you want to survive, then you have to face it. Just like companies such as, like, the Spotify, we know, like Netflixes or Amazon, Microsoft, Airbnb, some of the big, the large organization, they keep actually, updating their applications, updating their products so often, it is so difficult even to predict actually what will be the next one, right? So that is how actually that, the world we are living in. So it's volatile, it's really uncertain, it's very complex as well as ambiguous, right? So, so because of this IT landscape, we move to the next one. I have to click on this, unfortunately. My keyboard is not working, I guess, for this. Okay. So because of this IT landscape, right? We are looking like so much complex. We call it as the big ball of mud, something like, or a spaghetti landscape, right? So being in the senior peoples or CIOs or equivalent senior leaders in an organization, it is very difficult to guess that what is going to happen next. So business peers requires more and more in terms of quality and speed, right? We cannot actually compromise on the quality at all. At the same time, we can't call it, say that it can be a slow delivery also, right? For most product innovations and then introducing better and the new products and services, digital assets are the key here, right? So it is not possible to say no to our customers anymore in an organization. So if the customers or a business comes back and says that, okay, so this is the product, so this is the the feature, our competitors are actually coming up in the market, then we can't say that this is going to be actually inbuilt in our product in the next 3 months or 6 months down the line. So you cannot say that. Somebody, are under the pressure. So organization under the pressure to actually deliver it fast. So one of the key value drivers for organization is to eliminate the waste here. When I say actually the waste, right? We know actually waste by physical thingy, but there are a lot of waste happens in our organizations in IT software delivery processes as well, right? Something like the technical debt, something the products are, the existing legacy applications are created many years ago. So it has built a technical debt over the time. So it takes a lot of time to analyze, again, work on it, build it and deliver it. And then there are a lot of ways like in the processes as well, something like waiting for the phases to happen. We know actually SDLC phases and waterfall ways or something, a phase after phase, there is an waiting to happen, something in an approval process or even a manual activities to happen. So this is how actually we need to slowly identify all the non-value added activities and then try to bring in more cohesive workforces together and then the build our product and deliver it as fast as possible. So that is how actually over the period of in the last couple of decades probably the IT industry started finding the revolution in terms of the software development delivery. Something in between, actually they came up with an agile way of working, right? So the teams wanted to be an agile. They wanted to actually build a small group of teams which can deliver it faster, but not necessary actually that it was happening immediately because of the silos we have developed in the organizations, right? That is how it is. So we need a kind of a situation like we have seen this picture or this character in the Pixar movies. So this is how we want things to be in the market now itself, and we cannot it to be crashed we want it to be reliable, available. We see actually more often, actually, even in the digitalization, we use our mobile phones for our daily activities nowadays, like even payment in the markets or anything. You get really bothered if the application doesn't work right. Something like a reliability of the applications also matters, something like that. Just giving an example, right? So the coming back to the software delivery processes, right? So we see that there are a lot of challenges, right, in the traditional way of working, right? In my sessions, actually, I use this slide for as an activity, but I don't want to do here. I'm pretty sure actually that the audiences in this session must have actually faced such kind of situation as well in your processes. Something like, the low creativity. The people are working on the activities again and again, and without actually realizing that something, the new can be created. They're becoming a more banal, right? And then manual releases. We are still actually stick to that, the manually release it to the production environment, or even multiple environments, which you talk about, lower environment, are all happening sometimes manually. We don't use any automation for doing it. So repeatedly, we feel the issues when we do it manually, because manually is error prone, right? And then talk about the quality again. We get the poor quality products because we don't get to know the quality of it until somebody comes and tell it to the the developers, and then they fix it, and then move on to the production again. The increased backlog, we are not able to develop it as many as possible. The processes are slow. Product backlog keep on actually extending. The demands is coming from the market, but the demand and supply, what you call supply, is becoming very low. Communication problems because of the silos. We have multiple teams working together: development team, testing team, release team, or even the team which is maintaining the applications in the production, are all having a different communication models, different communication channels, which creates the problems as well, right? And then we also see that as sporadic releases, it's not possible actually to have the frequency setup. The high cost, of course, we know that you find a defects or an issues at the later stage of your development life cycle, then your cost increases exponentially, right? And then of course the less happiness about from the the morale of the team. We see that actually it's less happiness. Definitely most of you have actually worked over the weekends. How many of you like to work over the weekends, or many weekends actually the spoiled by your release practices, etc. And we call it as a wall of confusion. I think we will talk about this more in the next slides. The wall of confusion is something like we have development team, and then on the other side we have a run team, which is running the application in the production. And both have a different actually, the KPIs, and they have difficulty in communicating or maintaining their activities. So that becomes a very difficult, right? So these are the challenges. We often find it in the traditional way of working. Okay. However, in the last couple of decades, like probably in the start of the 21st century, organizations or industry actually came up with a solution, came up with the idea of agile way of working, right? So agile solved a lot of problems related to the development aspects, right? So they came up with a whole team approach, or what we call it as an agile team. They came up with the framework, like the Scrum, where actually the team called as the whole team, including developers, testers, or business product owners, Scrum masters. So many actually roles came in, and then they all wanted to actually to solve the problems of the development activities, right? So the business came in, they also contributed, and applications were created in terms of the requirements were created as backlogs. Then the sprint backlog actually came into picture, and then they developed it, and then started trying to deliver it in a short chunks, or something like in more of an iterative way of actually delivering it. isn't it? However, it did not really solve the problem. Why? Because when it actually got delivered to the higher environment, it all started with the problems. Because the people, the team or an department which is going to release it to the production have a serious issues. Whether its application is not working in their environment, or the way actually they are maintaining it, they are running it in the production was an issue. That is how actually, in somewhere in the late 2010, 28, I think 2008 onwards, probably some gentleman called as an, I cannot recall, sorry. So he came up with an, idea of merging the team together called as the development team and an operation team coming together, and then, calling it as a dev and operation. So DevOps team who came actually, came into a picture and then delivered it. Okay. So I have one question to you here. You can actually just, is it possible to type it? Maybe. Which of the following do you think actually the correct answer from your perspective? I'm sure actually the people who are in this call are all are aware of the DevOps, and definitely if you are already heard it, trying to practice it, what do you think actually? DevOps is nothing but a software delivery lifecycle. DevOps is only for startup companies. DevOps means combined development and operations teams sitting together, or none of this. I see 4, 5, 6. Everybody looks like as a C. Yeah, I can imagine this, because I just now actually mentioned, right? It's all, somebody actually started as merging the development team and then operations team together and then sitting together. Yeah, maybe it started actually at that time like this because they wanted to actually, communicate faster and then develop it. But actually it is not. Okay. So let's see actually then what is DevOps. Yeah. So the slide actually I have come up with, DevOps is not really a thingy. Like it's not like a product. Okay. It's not a standard or a specification or a framework or a job title. Then what it is actually? So DevOps is about experiences. It's about ideas and a culture. It got stuck here. Can you guys see my screen still?
Yes, we can see your screen. The screen is with a code.
Okay, so it's still a code, right? Okay. Yeah, excellent. Okay. So I was talking about, right? So it's not about what it is like product, standard, or a specification. It's about a close communication and then collaboration, right? So between the IT operations and development, and how they can improve the products, services that they produce by thinking differently about how they work together using a new mentality. Okay, so there are some models, something we are going to talk about, like Calm's model, etc. Okay, so we will actually talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm moving to the next. Yeah, I was stuck there actually. So now it moved to the next slide, which is good. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about this because I really read that definition pretty long, right? So, but here I wanted to actually elaborate on this. So I was talking about, right, whether it is framework, it is or a standard or etc. So I wanted to talk about actually on this slide a bit. Okay. So something about the framework. So DevOps is not a framework, but it is basically a set of principles and then practices, okay, that can be applied to any software development methodology. Okay, it does not prescribe any public specific set of tools or processes, but rather focuses on improving the collaboration, communication between the teams. But when I say that, It does not prescribe any specific set of tools, but it demands you to actually come up with the better processes and tools for your DevOps practices. Okay, you are not bound to actually limit to certain set. You have to continuously evolve yourselves, which is called as a continuous improvement. Later we will talk about. It is not a standard, once again. Okay, it cannot be implemented or certified. You cannot actually go and ask for actually, oh, DevOps certified. I have not a company or a process cannot be certified as something like this. It is not a set of rules or regulations that must be followed, but rather a culture, basically. Okay, that must be cultivated within the organization, within the teams. The focus of the DevOps is to continuous improvement, I spoke about, right? And there is no one size fits all solution. It may not be that you have a multiple teams. A team is practicing, say, for example, that trunk-based development. It not necessarily not that the trunk-based development has to be applied within another team as well. It also comes with the maturity of your Scrum team as well, right? It's not a role or a function. We are not going to call somebody as a DevOps engineer. It's not, because DevOps is not an actual role for a person actually. DevOps is, it is a collaboration, again, effort, where actually the teams are going to actually work together and then improve their processes. Okay, it's not again a team. We do not want to call DevOps team. Basically, a team which is going to practice the DevOps is a team, right? So again, it is not just a tool. It's one of the misnomer. Actually, I see lot of teams are actually talking about we are a DevOps. They're using the tools for this. So if they use any available tools in the market, they call it as we are practicing the DevOps. Not necessarily. DevOps is not actually a tool or a set of tools that can be purchased and implemented in your development practices. While tools can facilitate the DevOps processes, this is very important. They are not the focus of the DevOps. The focus of DevOps is, again, as I said, a people, processes, and culture. Okay, so it's not a goal also. It's a way to, or it's a means to achieve your goal. I can say that. So it's an ongoing process of continuous improvement. I would say DevOps is about creating a culture of collaboration, communication, and shared responsibility. It's about constantly striving to deliver better software and a faster. So that is what actually, this picture is talking about. Oh, I'm not completely visible here, right? So we are talking about communication, collaboration, and continuous improvement. I've been using these words very often because that's how actually I am. Okay. Coming to the next slide, where I would like to talk about how this DevOps as a practice started in the industries. So sometime in 20, do you see the screen, fully screen? Yeah, I guess so. So as I said, something late 2000s, we see that the DevOps actually started appearing, okay, in the industry. I remember the name actually, that there is one great book called as an DevOps handbook. I usually actually refer that. That was written by the Patrick DeBois, right? So this is the man actually who coined this term called as the DevOps. Probably that time actually he thought let the development team and then development team and then operations team sitting together and then solve the problem of the development and then operations. Probably that is how actually he designed it, but slowly over the period of time, it improved a lot in its processes. Okay. So in the beginning, as we see actually the DevOps school one or thought school, right, is like integrating the IT operations within the IT development team. But slowly actually it improved. They started actually thinking it is just not sitting together, but it's more about creating the high performance IT organization. Probably this is where DASA has the main driver for the start of the second school of DevOps. The products, lot of actually the solutions, lot of readily available templates, etc. We'll talk about that from the second school of DevOps onwards, right? Yeah. Okay, so we will actually talk about now, and then also there is a school of DevOps school of thoughts in 3, where organizational transformation and digital leadership. So in the school 2, we talk about high performance organization and the teams. But however, when we won't like to actually expand it to the entire IT organization level, then we talk about transformation, digital leadership as well. So this is how actually, DASA is striving towards. We will actually talk about that more on this, but little bit about the school 1, where actually, how IT operations and the IT development were integrated or, come together, right? So basically, when we see in the organization, as I said, the development team and the operations team has different goals. When the development team actually think that we would like to change the applications, but however, operation team says that we need a stability in the in the production. They need stability in terms of reliability, availability, or even a security, etc. Right? But they both have a different processes. Both have a different tools to actually maintain it, and both have a different mindset as well. So this causes the problem. And development team only thinks that, okay, we have developed this is a piece of code, we tested it and then deliver it to you. But however, the stability operations teams looking for a stability, they have a problem. They have a problem in terms of performance of the application. They have a problem in terms of availability because of its configuration, etc. They were faced with a lot of challenges. I'm sure actually most often you might have seen that the application doesn't work in the production, and after the delivery on Saturday, Sundays, like you have spent a whole lot of sleepless nights, and then you delivered it on Saturday release, then Monday it will be reverting back. Teams completely reject it as something they went miserably wrong in the production. Then you will be wondering what happened to application which was delivered last week, right? So everything comes back. It's a wastage of entire 3 months you have been put in for developing something, and then it just actually gets rejected by the operations teams over the weekend, right? So this is the huge problem we have been actually facing, definitely, right? But if you think actually that again, if you want to break this wall of confusion, right, then there are again challenges. It's not necessary that, as I said, sitting, then bring this wall down and then let the development team, operation team sit together, let them have a communication and then do it. Still, it is not going to be possible because of the organized silos, because of the mindset both of them have. Then biased feedback, one of the most important we always see actually, that because they want to protect their personal interests, different tools actually they will be having, and then the processes or an even different IT environments. When I say actually that infrastructure, like whether it is a dev environment or a QA environment or even a production environment, we most often you might have actually encountered and problems like, oh, it's working in my application, my environment, but it is not working in your environment. So you take care of yours because it's working in my environment. It's not. You cannot actually have this kind of an interesting battle, isn't it? So in order to do this, in order to eliminate this, as I said, the industry came up with, Patrick Du Bois or DevOps came up with a solution like, okay, so how about bringing this or bridging between, right, development team and then operations teams with the culture of communication, collaboration, and integration, right? So this is how actually the no confusion occurred between them. And DevOps is, you can see that, that infinity, an infinity symbol is nothing but it's a continuous feedback and continuous building, continuous feedback and a continuous building. It never actually ends. So it slowly actually moves on, and then the many problems are actually going to be solved, the one which we have been encountered in the traditional way of work. Yeah. Okay. So then what happens in the school 2, then creating a high performance IT organization. So here I don't want to actually talk too much, but definitely the certain areas where actually DASA is helping out is that the focus areas, right? As we actually wanted to build this bridge, which needs a culture, an organizational focus area, the processes, and as well as the automations. And DASA came up with a principle, like, there are 6 principles. I think I have this. Yeah, I will talk about this. So DASA came up with the principles which are very foundation for the high performance digital organization. Towards high performance digital organization is that customer centric. So we would like to see that our agile teams or an organization or the entire ecosystem looks from the customer centric. What exactly customer wants? A customer wanted a certain piece of code, certain piece of features, then you deliver it, get the response from them. If they like it, then you move on and then continuously get the feedback. Not necessarily as we have been doing in the traditional way, like once in 3 months, 6 months, which is never going to happen. Probably by the time customer might have actually changed his vision of his product itself. That should not be the case. That's how actually it's a customer centric. Create with an end in the mind. As I said, that once you know the detail of your product, then we would like to keep end in the mind, right? That is how actually our products are designed. End-to-end responsibility. A team actually has to take care of the end-to-end responsibility. A development team, operations teams have to work together and then take an equal responsibility. Not like a blame game is going to happen between the departments or between the teams. And then we talk about cross-functional automation, autonomous teams. These are autonomous, which can take its own decisions. It's a very interesting word. Okay, the autonomous teams are more creative as well, because if we are monitored, if we are actually controlled, too much control, then naturally the creativity dies. And then creativity is the backbone of the current world. We need actually creative minds. We need a creative solutions. We need a creative way of working and then delivering it faster. And it's the cross-functional autonomous team can achieve this. They can build it fast and they can fail fast and they can improve fast by doing so, because of their the creative minds, fostering the creative minds in them, right? There are tools available, and the team which we are actually working on, all are engineers, right? Most of them are going to be engineers who are playful with the tools. If you see, actually, the way we are all grown up is because we have been liking to play with the tools. Some probably have something in their own word, the tools which they would like to experiment and destroy and then build and then come back. This is the mindset actually the engineers come. But if they are controlled, then it is not going to solve the problem. It's going to, in fact, make it much more worse, right? Continuous improvement. Again, everywhere we are talking about continuously you improve it with the help of the creative minds, creative ideas, etc. And at last, not the least one, is the automate everything if you can. As much as possible, automation is important. If you do it one time, it's okay, manual. If you do it second time, it's still okay. If you do it again and again, third time onwards, is not acceptable. Look for an opportunity to automate it so that you can focus more on the creative work, right? Machines are meant for doing the repetitive work. However, humans are meant for, for creative work. So this is the mentality we need to actually bring in the organization. You can imagine now that how we are talking about, the cultural, transformation within the organization. Got some message on the top. Just I want to see. Okay, cancel it. Okay. Before I move to the next one, I would like to see if anybody has any question, because it's almost like 30 minutes. That helps me to actually take a sip of water as well. Any questions? Ashutosh? Hope everybody is still there, and then we have some questions. I hope I'm not on mute. Okay, let me see the chat box. None. No question as such. There is a one question probably. No. Okay. Anyone can confirm that I'm audible and still the people are there. Yeah. I see actually one thumbs up. I would like to see more. I got a one message here saying that for me to begin in DevOps, I need a IT background. Not necessarily, but you are going to work in IT for sure. Okay. Okay. And another question, I just wanted to know actually. Please let me know if I'm too fast or it's not making sense. Okay, all right. I was getting a call. I just trying to disconnect it. Okay. All right. Let me move to the next one. Okay. So here we would like to talk about, I think we have already we have spoken about then, the 6 principles of the DevOps, etc. But there are certain, the models, okay, like models like CALMS model. What is CALMS? Is like something culture, automation, lean practices, and measuring your progress, process, and then finally the sharing. Sharing is caring, right? So these are the actually, the basically the you can say that it's a model for an DevOps organization. And if they would like to actually really bring in the DevOps culture, DevOps want to become a DevOps organization, they will have to actually, implement these these into their organization. Culture of the organization, the teams will have to work together, the removal of the silos, and then automation, try to actually bring in more automation in the organization, and then lean practices, avoid wastes, avoid manual interventions, bring in more collaborative tools, and then measure the organization progress, and then build up an culture of sharing between the teams, right? And then it is not just like sharing in the sense, okay, only setting up the meetings or only setting up then etc. But it is also about the infrastructure of the organization in terms of sharing tools, collaborative tools, etc. are very important, right? So that is how actually the organization will have to focus on CALMS model. There are many models, in fact, but this is one of the very prominent model actually, which is being actually considered, okay, for implementing the DevOps. It's not a DevOps model. It is for implementing the DevOps in the organization, okay? But still, we see actually that the 70% of the DevOps transformation fail. Okay, it's something measured by or found out by the McKinsey and then Forbes, and then they say that there are a lot of reasons why actually the transformation fail, or it goes slow, not as expected the speed they would like to have it. The main reason is that the cultural and the behavioral changes in the organization. And this is something, very important for an organization to bring in the culture in the workforce so that they can understand the DevOps and then they start practicing it. So one of the important aspects of this bringing the cultural behavioral changes in the organization is the leadership. The leadership matters a lot. The way actually they are going to actually, deal with the organization cultural changes is very important, right? So that is what actually we would like to say that. And when it comes, the DASA come up with the products where actually they talk about organizational transformation and the digital leadership as well. Okay, so there are products, there are tools which will help organization to think about bringing cultural changes in the organization. Okay, so this is about the DASA, the mission. I think I just wanted to give an a quick overview of the mission. I think it's founded in 2016. More than 300 organization has been collaborated with the DASA for the products. I think what is this 50 plus? Yeah, I cannot see this because of my pagination coming in between. And I think 20,000 plus certified professionals are around the globe. They have several certification programs from these DevOps fundamentals to the DevOps leadership leader, which is the DevOps leader. I am the DevOps leader as well as the fundamentals trainer, train the trainer. And I think, oh, come on, I have to go back. Yeah, 40,000 plus community members actively participating in the DASA's solutioning. Yeah. Okay, I think this is a little bit about how DASA wants to bring in the journey towards the high performance digital organization. Basically, DASA helps you to understand the importance of this digital organization. Okay, why do they want it? What is the important? What is that really causing them the pain that if they don't do this transformation, a cost to the organization? Yeah, and then creating a vision for the digital transformation, and then come back with an the framework, come back with an roadmap that how they can actually shape the organization for their digital transformation, and then finally transforming the enterprises executive or planning, etc., and continuously improve upon that. Yeah. Okay, so these are the key transformation themes. I would not actually go really each and every one of this. DASA comes up with the transformation themes, like this is how actually you would like to organization can actually look into this, that particular creating a culture of high performance or simplifying the technology landscape or even building a high performance software teams. So these are all actually the themes. DASA has actually worked with the organization and then come up with their pain areas, the areas where they would like to really look into. So that is how actually they came up with the themes, and then we can come to the organization and then help in improving their digital transformation vision. Okay, so but I would not like to go actually each of this, because this you can actually connect with the DASA and then go through this. Okay, and this is the portfolio. I think, as I mentioned, actually that they come up with an 6 portfolio here. Again, I would not really talk about this much because it's too much into the DASA's portfolio, but I'm more interested in talking about how the DevOps in the tools or in the tools world it looks like. Okay, once again, I would like to take a pause here. Anyone has any question? Ashutosh or someone actually can confirm. Actually, I'm still audible, and then
Yes, you are audible.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions actually in your kitty?
I do see 4 messages, but they are, for me to begin in DevOps, I need IT background. How do I start if I don't have a IT background? Also, will have to learn through DASA. That's what
Okay.
AJ has been asking us.
Okay. All right. I think I will get back to this maybe once we complete this. Yeah.
Great. In that case, we can continue.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Ashutosh. Okay. So
I do see one Q&A. No, nothing. Great.
no, I think that was the answer they wanted to give when we actually posed the question.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is about actually the from here onwards, I would like to talk about then DevOps tools and technologies. What is this actually, when it comes to the automation, etc. Till now, actually, we spoke about culture, continuous implementation, collaboration, communication, etc., or building high performance digital organization with through the the lot of products, lot of certifications, which actually talk about bringing the cultural changes or bring the necessary skills for driving your organizational transformation, right? So this is little bit about DevOps tools as well, something, how then certain tools are available actually for automating your daily practices, etc., daily activities, something like that in the software development life cycle. So this is about the tools. So what you are actually seeing on the left side is just an the few tools which I have actually expressed here. Okay, it's too small to actually read it definitely, but if I see this, I can actually put it into the large classification as automation tools, where actually DevOps relies on varieties of automation tools such as Jenkins, you might have heard, GitHub Actions, Terraform, Ansible, Chef, Puppet, several. Hundreds, in fact, hundreds of tools are there, which I'm not able to actually, put it everything in slides, so I cannot explain that. Okay, and then about the containerization, the technologies like Docker, Kubernetes enable containerization, allowing for consistent deployment across the different environment. So this resolves your problems like this works in my machine, doesn't work in your machine, or it works in the development environment and then it cannot be run in the production environment. Such problems are really eliminated with the help of the containerization. It's a little bit about actually in the technical terminologies. Please bear with for a few minutes, so that it just falls onto your ears. If you have already heard it, it's okay. Otherwise, probably at point of time in your organization, you will probably come across these things. And then monitoring and logging, as the name itself suggests that, yes, you are monitoring measurement, right? We're talking about the measurement as one of the pillar of the organization, CALMS model. Monitoring and then logging makes an very important aspects in your DevOps, so that in practices, so that, or automation practices, so that you can measure it and then improve it, continuous improvement. And then project management and collaboration. We talked about communication and then collaboration as one of the important aspects of the DevOps culture, where actually the tools like Jira, Confluence, Microsoft Teams, all this actually comes into picture and then helps you to maintain the collaboration between the teams. It also helps in sharing as well, right? So these are the things. So this is the typical software development and then delivery life cycle. Here I would like to actually, I do not want to go each and everything here. It's about actually the how do you go planning. For planning, actually if you have come across agile world, where the product owner creates all the stories, user stories, and then maintains it in a one place, a centralized location, from where actually the development picks up, they develop it, and then they use the various tools, and then they start actually building it and the packaging it, and then the test it in a certain environments, and then finally release it to the production. And even in the production also, there will be a various methods like A/B testing, blue-green deployment, or site reliability engineering, which is actually going to take care of the reliability of the applications in the in the production. So this is how actually the flow will actually take place. And there is a continuously the feedback happens as and when actually your piece of code or the features are delivered to the production, and then you get the instant feedback without any delays. So that means you are going to reduce the waste in communication, right? You get the feedback, whether it's good, whether it's bad. If it is bad, then let's actually go back and then rework on it and then bring it. If it is good, how can we improve it better in customer satisfaction, improving it so that your customers, your end users are delighted with that, right? This is how actually, these cycles is happen. So more you deliver it and faster, you get faster feedback and then a better improvement in your processes. And you can all actually experience in the world of now digitalization, where we see actually that you get more features on your phones, you get on your products, etc., better than any earlier, right? So that is how actually this DevOps culture is going to bring in your organization. In this slide, actually, I'm going to talk. I spoke about how it matters within a single team or for a person who is going to work on DevOps activities will be pictured over here. Okay, so that's what actually I wanted to talk about from this slide. Yeah. And you might have also heard about like continuous integration and a continuous delivery. So this is the more often, the technical world probably, but actually it is not. It's basically about, everything is continuous in, the DevOps way of working, right? Something like continuous integration, continuous delivery, continuous deployment, continuous improvement, and then continuous monitoring. Why? Because as I mentioned that it's an infinity symbol. So you need to get the feedback and then work on it and then deliver it and then get the feedback and work on it. So this is how it is. Okay. I think it's a little bit of actually, the technical, but only thing is that if I tell you in short that it's about a practice of merging developers' work copies or work codes to a shared mainline server several times in a day, and then ensuring that the changes are integrated and tested. And then delivery is about delivering your the features continuously to the production environment or the hands of the end users safely, quickly, in a sustainable way. That is important. It's not possible that you did it one time and then next time it is not going to happen. It's going to take several hours, right? Then it is not DevOps. It's ultimately it's called as, then I can say that, eventual delivery. I see good that I see actually there's one hand raised. Somebody would like to speak about or ask a question. You can put it in the question. Do we see that? Oh, this is the question. Okay, I think it's a good time to actually address some questions. We are well ahead of time, I guess.
Sure, we can.
Yeah. So let me start from the one which is here. So what does DASA really is? So DASA is basically an organization which comes up with the solutions, the products, and readily available materials, as well as certification programs as well on DevOps. Okay, so it helps an individuals. When you say actually it's an individuals, then it actually helps individuals to actually prepare for the DevOps. What is DevOps, or how to work in a DevOps, etc. Let me see. There is one slide actually. Probably that will help you in understanding this. And in fact, I skipped this very quickly. I could have actually covered because I thought that is something already taken care, or where is that? Give me a second. Give me a second, please. Sorry. All right. I think I'm not able to find that slide. Probably, yeah. So as I mentioned, DASA comes up with guidelines that how do you want to implement the DevOps in the organization. They come up with a certification so that your workforce can actually train in the, and they also come up with the talent improvement in the organization, etc. So that is what actually the DASA come up with a solution for implementing DevOps in your organization. Nope. Somebody said actually DASA provide just DevOps fundamentals. Nope. Several certifications are there. DevOps fundamental is the basic one, and you can go to the devops.org to see actually the list of certifications. It's about, they come up with the DevOps fundamentals, then they come up with DevSecOps. They also actually have a solution, or come up with the guidelines for the AI ops, and they have certified product owners, they have certified trainers, they have certified leaders, etc. Yeah. Where do I start with a development department of 180 people when I want to incorporate DevOps? Yes. So if you would like to really implement DevOps in an organization with 180 people, then I think you need to start with an agile way of working. The first thing is that the team should actually realize that they need to continuously deliver their product, okay, their product to the end users. So agile is one of the stepping stone for a department to start looking into that. Slowly, actually, you can then speed up your processes, speed up, build in your tools, bring in tools into your organization or in your department, and then you can actually start delivering it. So as I said, like, for example, if you have you bring in as simple as the project collaboration tool, a Jira, or even equivalent of Jira, something like Azure DevOps boards. So that helps you actually that, okay, you can actually align the task, you can create a narration for the delivery for that the 15-day sprint, and then start actually delivering it, and then slowly you can really bring in DevOps culture into that. Okay. So you will get actually a more systematic way if you are looking for, then I think DevOps fundamentals will give you a lot of insights into that. Which languages is this training available in? As far as I know, it's English. I'm not sure if there are any other languages available across the globe, because it's in a globally organization for DevOps mentoring, but probably they do have a different, but I cannot comment on that. So maybe you can check with the DevOps org. There is a link provided at the end of the slide, so you can see that. Yes. So DASA covers fundamentals as well as advanced as well. Correct. Any question? I think I had a couple of additional questions, which I said I will. Yeah, for me to begin in DevOps, do I need an IT background? Nope, you don't need to work on an IT background, but if it depends on what role you are actually playing in an organization. You can be a leader as well to bring in the DevOps culture in the organization. As I said, actually, that you have to bring in collaboration, communication, continuous improvement, mindset changes, culture of the organization. Something, if you are playing in that area, then I think you don't need an IT background. But if somebody is actually working on an IT, developing the code and then delivering it to the customer, then of course it's you are already there, right, as a software engineer, software developer, who has to understand now that how to deliver your applications faster, more sustainably to the end users. And then again, your the culture or mindset or the skills, soft skills matter a lot. So you will have to learn through DASA. I'm not sure actually this expression, like, yeah, if your organization is aligned with DASA principles, then you will get benefited from DASA. Awesome. Okay. Any more questions? Yeah, I think I just wanted to actually have some case studies. You must be actually amazed to see certain things, certain case studies like Netflix. You all know, actually, I think we have some global audiences in this. If we have in the call, then everybody knows actually Netflix. And I believe actually many of you also might be having in Netflix subscriptions, right? But yes, Netflix adopt DevOps principles, DevOps practices heavily in their organization, in their the way of actually they are delivering it. Have you ever encountered a down time or the issues in Netflix while watching your favorite movies or series, right? It's not because of their the best practices, the way actually they adopts in their organization. So I can say actually that one of the practices, you can imagine that how it is the simian monkeys, right? They use chaos engineering, right? The chaos engineering is that deliberately they have 9 monkeys. The monkeys are, right, the character of a monkey is to actually go and play around and then probably create the disruptions. So they do actually the chaos engineering. They have 9 simian monkeys. Monkeys in the sense, it's not actual monkeys, sorry. It's basically the activities, the kind of an creating a disruption in the environment, and then see that how is their IT ecosystems work. And if it is still actually reliable, if it is still actually sustainable, which is good. If they find any small issues, then they will go and they fix it. So imagine, so this is how actually they work. And then DevOps play a major role here in terms of delivering their problems or solutions, not a problem, solutions to the production. So that is how you might not actually ever see that there is a problem when you're watching your favors. And then another thing is an Amazon. I think one of the favorite case study for me most often actually I refer here. So in scaling their infrastructure, I think Amazon has done a wonderful simulation. So they improve their deployment frequency so fast, embracing the operational efficiency as well. A lot of case studies you can actually go and see that. Several are there, I think. Etsy is and also another one, and then we can see Spotify, Uber, or many more. Now, I think many organizations are now embracing the DevOps culture, DevOps way of working, and then they deliver it. Yeah, I think I almost at the end of this session. I think we are also actually doing some Q&A in between as well, but I still open the floor for question and answer. Yeah, I somebody has give a link in the chat, Mr. Falco, and yeah, this is about the questions. I mean, sorry, certifications, courses, and what you can learn from the DASA. As an individual, I cannot, somebody has posted here, that's what I'm reading here. As an individual, I cannot learn through DASA. I need to be in an organization affiliated with DASA. I think no, but you can write to DASA. Probably I will put it here. I think this is from edForce. You can also communicate to DASA, as I mentioned in the earlier slide. So I think
Hi,
Ashutosh,
I
yeah.
have no idea who's Felco posting something. We don't. Do you know Shriharsha who's Felco posting these badges?
I don't know.
Sorry, I really want to communicate. This is not information from edForce. All these links and link to public courses. Someone is spamming our account. I will like you all to know. Please don't trust on any of these links. Only trust in the communication coming from Harsha and Ashutosh from that means from edForce.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ashutosh. Then I thought actually the Falco is from this.
No, not from edForce. Certainly.
Okay.
May I take over?
Yes, please. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ashutosh.
Just a second. I will also like to remind everyone that any communication communicated from edForce is a genuine information. Yeah. So I'm sure we all have completed the Q&A bit, which was exciting. Now about the hey, I am one of them. Sorry, I really would advise no one to follow and rather let me limit this because no one from DASA team is taking responsibility of Felco. So I think it is a spam account. I will right now block the account. The person is not understanding. It is a spam when DASA is not taking a responsibility and we are not. Report. Great. Falco has been removed. Uh, yes. So we are over with Q&A. We are having an amazing ed talk, which will happen next month, which is on design thinking. We hope to see you all and more people out there. Before we wrap up, we have a few things to communicate to you, which I'm here for. Yes. Thank you, Shriharsha, for that insightful presentation. I'm sure everyone has gained tremendous value from the session. Now,
Awesome.
as prom,
Awesome.
yeah, Shriharsha, would you like to acknowledge it by saying something?
Yeah. Thank you, Ashutosh, for this wonderful, opportunity. And then we got awesome audiences as well. I see that the people are very enthusiastic, and then I see actually some questions are very interested questions, which
Yes.
definitely will help you all. Yep. My only, what can I say? Actually, the words for you guys is that please pick up this wonderful journey of DASA DevOps programs. If you are already onto this amazing journey, you will have it. Especially when I say actually that, you will also actually get amazing journey in learning the tools, technologies, or working with other colleagues, collaboration, etc., etc. So please continue that. If you have any questions related to the your DevOps, you can always reach out to me, or Ashutosh is also there. I think you can also actually approach me. Yeah, that's all actually from my side. So please continue this. This will definitely make you exciting journey in your career.
Great. Once again, thank you, Shriharsha. I'm sure everyone has gained tremendous value from the session once again.
Yeah.
Before we end the session, I'd just like to tell you where the idea of edTalk comes from. edTalks is a lineup of the finest knowledgeable webinars crafted to be delivered by industry experts like Shriharsha to cater the technical cravings of today's modern workforce and keep them updated with the technological developments happening across the globe. Thank you all. The recording will be available. All the details will follow up in the email hitting your inboxes tomorrow by Zoom. I also request if you have already submitted a Google review in the past, please don't use the same account or don't edit the old review. Add a new one from any other Gmail account. Do let us know the account which you logged in from. We will take care of it. Thank you, everyone, and one round of applause for Shriharsha.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
Have a
You're all wonderful audiences as well. I see that. Yeah. Thanks, Ashutosh. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
I will drop off. Bye.